Well, hello. It is time to do some grammar. You ready to dive in with me? Let's sing our 9 parts of speech. Ready? 9 parts of speech. 9 parts of speech. Yeah, 9 parts of speech. 9 parts of speech. Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, conjunction, interjection, preposition, adjective, and article adjectives. Noun, pronoun, verb, adverb, conjunction, interjection, preposition, adjective, and article adjectives. Okay, let's go through each one and see if we can name what each one is. Ready? What's a noun? A person, place, thing, activity, or idea. What's a pronoun? A pronoun replaces a noun in order to avoid repetition. A pronoun replaces a noun in order to avoid repetition. Like he, she, it, you, they, them. What's a verb? A verb is a word that asserts action, shows a state of being, links two words together, and helps another verb. How many types are there? 4. There's action, state of being, linking, and helping. Adverb. What is an adverb? Let's see. I forgot the tune for a second. Here we go. An adverb modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. An adverb modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb, and answers how, when, where, why, how often, how much, to what extent, under what condition. An adverb modifies a verb, adjective, or another adverb. What's a conjunction? A conjunction is a word used to connect words, phrases, or clauses together. A conjunction is a word used to connect words, phrases, or clauses together. There's Gordon writing fanboys. Superlative something. I don't remember the rest of the song, but that's it. So like for and or but over here. So these names. Okay, an interjection. Interjection shows excitement or emotion. They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation point or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. Interjection shows excitement or emotion. They're generally set apart from a sentence by an exclamation mark or by a comma when the feeling's not as strong. A preposition is a noun phrase that is used in relation to something, like aboard, about, across, after, against, along, amid, among, around, at, atop, before, behind, below, beneath, beside, between, beyond, but by, concerning, down, during, except, for, near, like, off. There's a lot of them. So think about it like I have a cookie and it's in the box, it's outside of the box, it's through the box, it's under the box, it's above the box, it's around the box, or triangle. It's a preposition. All right, adjective. An adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun by describing, modifying, or limiting, and answers what kind, how many, which, or whose. What kind, how many, which, or whose. An adjective modifies a noun or a pronoun by describing, modifying, or limiting, and answers what kind, how many, which, or whose. And part of article adjectives are what? And the. Anytime you have those are super easy. They're just considered an article adjective. I like to say there are only 8 parts of speech because to me, article adjectives are just a type of adjective. I don't like to distinguish that. Some people, including Mrs. Updike, say there are 9, but you're not wrong either way. With grammar, there are a lot of things that are subjective, but people like to argue about what is exactly right and what's wrong. But the truth is there are sometimes more than one way to interpret the same thing. So, let us move on. I have a friend with us today. You have not seen her before. She's very sweet. Here she is. She's a little doe. How are you, little doeling? Oh, I'm so good. I'm ready to help with grammar. I love grammar. Bring, bring, bring. Here we go. Here's our special little friend. She's a baby deer. So you are going to help us teach the little baby deer some grammar. Now, the reason we have purple today is because I ran out of green, so we get purple. And that noise you hear in the background, that is your assignment. Now, I want you to start, and we need to be better at this, by writing your name. Go ahead and write it so I know when you turn it in exactly whose it is. Okay, this week we learned about the Industrial Revolution. Ooh, what is the Industrial Revolution, Doling? Oh, the Industrial Revolution was a time when many, many wonderful things were invented to help our lives be better. It was a time of enlightenment where the Spirit of God was on the earth again because of the restoration, and people began to be creative and they began to be inspired to invent all kinds of wonderful things and to make better systems. And because of that, we have so many of the wonderful inventions we have today. And you see a little bit less of me around because we don't really live around lots of people anymore. Let's get started. Ready? Here we go. Clever people invented. Who or what is this sentence about? Is it about clever? No. People. Subject, noun. What is being said about people? People invented, verb. Now, invented, what kind of verb is that? Remember we talked about our 4 verb types? Is it an action verb? Is it something you can act out? Is it a linking verb, helping verb, or state of being verb? Like am, is, are, was, were, be, being, been. It is an action verb, but it's intransitive. It's not transferring action to anything. So, people invented. Who or what is this sentence? What kind of people? Clever. Is this an adjective or adverb? Well, what is it modifying? It's saying what kind of people, and people is a noun, and if it's describing a noun, then it has to be an adjective. And it's also asking the question, what kind, which is on what kind, how many, which, or, whose. That's an adjective question, right? So let's go ahead and draw this out. Oh, that was a little ski-wampus. Good thing for erasers, you guys. I finally learned my lesson to get an eraser this time. People invented. Now, we're going to put this here because it's describing them. We're going to capitalize the C. Why? Who can tell me? If you said that it's because is the first word of the sentence, you are absolutely right. Very good. That was a very easy sentence. Now, is there more than one subject and verb in the sentence? Nope. So this is a simple sentence. Next. Oh, you guys are very good. I think I'm understanding. Oh, hey, wait a minute. This sentence is very, very much like this sentence. You're right, little Doling. It absolutely is. In fact, it's the first 3 words are the same in both. The reason is because I wanted to teach you how the verb function can change just a little bit when you add one more word. So this one, the verb wasn't transferring any action. But let's see with this one. Here we go. Ready? Clever people invented machines. Who or what is the sentence about? People. Subject, noun. What is being said about people? People invented, verb. People invented who or what? Machines. Does machines replace people? Nope. Does machine... Actually, in the Industrial Revolution, they kind of did replace people, but not in this sense. Sorry, squirrel. Okay, does machines replace people? No. Does it describe people? No. D-O, label, verb, transitive. Remember, direct objects have to be what? Nouns, pronouns, verbs, adjectives. What do they have to be? If you said nouns, you are correct. Direct objects, predicate nominatives, subjects, all of those things have to be nouns. Objects of the prepositions have to be nouns. Okay, so what is another thing you can ask to check this is, what is receiving the action of being invented? Machines, right? It's transferring action to machines. So we know this is verb transitive, which means it's an action. So what's our question here? What kind of people? Clever. Adjective. Very good. Now let's go ahead and draw our line. People invented. Now this is going to be straight up because it doesn't repeat or reflect people. Machines. It doesn't replace. Okay, now where are we going to put clever? Where do we put clever? Under people. Very good. And what are we going to do with the first letter? And why? Capitalize it. All right, let's look at this. Is it a simple, compound, or complex sentence? If you said simple, you are right. Why is it simple? If you said because there's only one subject and verb, and there's no clauses that are dependent or independent, you are absolutely right. Very, very good. Very nice. I now see that machines is a direct object of people and that there's receiving the action of being invented. I see how these two sentences are very similar, but this one just added one part. Very good, Doling. You're getting it. Oh, this one's a little different. Let's read this one. Oh, okay. Clever people were clever inventors. This one's going to be a lot of fun. Who or what is this sentence about? People. Subject noun. What is being said about people? People were. Good. People were who or what? Inventors. Does inventors replace people? Or does it describe people? Which one would you say? Or does it not? Could you say inventors were people? Or is it kind of like an equal sign? Inventors equals people, people equals inventors. You could. Is inventors a noun or an adjective? So is it going to be a predicate nominative or a predicate adjective? Inventors is a noun that is renaming the subject. Nom means name. So it's predicate nom, which means name. Predicate nominative. It renames the subject. That means this is a linking verb, making this an equal sign. People equals inventors. Inventors equal people. Okay. If I just said clever people were smart, smart is a description of people. It's not a noun. Smart is an adjective. That would be, so in which case it would be a predicate adjective. But since inventors is a noun that's replacing people, it's a predicate nominative. You can think of the N representing noun, like predicate noun, but it actually nominative means rename. Do you know how to spell nominative? It sounds like this. Nominative. I think I just spelled it wrong, but nom means name. In Spanish, the word name say spell like this. Nombre. See? Nom. It's Latin based. Cool, huh? Okay. So what kind of inventors? Clever. Adjective. What kind of people? Clever. I was describing a noun or a verb. Describing a noun, so this is also an adjective. Okay. People were, this is going to slant back because it's repeating or reflecting, inventors. And because were is a linking verb. And we're going to put clever here. Is this one capitalized? No. Is this one capitalized? Yes. Nicely done. Okay, what kind of sentence is this? Simple, compound, or complex? Are there any clauses that have their own subjects and verbs that are dependent or independent? Nope. We just have one diagram here. So it's simple because there's only one subject and verb. Nicely done. Now you could have a compound subject and verb, which means I could say people and animals well, animals weren't inventors, but people and animals were coexisting or something, you know. So you could have two subjects that only have one verb together. But that's different. They're not two independent or dependent clauses. They didn't form a clause. Hopefully that kind of made sense to some of you older ones. Oh, that one was a little bit harder. You're right, Doling. It was a little bit harder. And the next one is even more fun because it's a little bit harder. And we love challenges. Yes, we do. Let's read it together. Ready? Many hands make light work, and working brings satisfaction. Very good, Doling. Now, Doling, do you see any conjunctions? And, because that's linking some things together. You're right. And is a conjunction. Is it linking, so just by a first glance, is it linking words, phrases, or clauses together? What do you think? Many hands make light work, and working brings satisfaction. Could that be its own sentence? Working brings satisfaction. It could be its own sentence. So I suspect it is linking clauses together. That's very good, Doling. You're right. Clauses have to have subject and verbs. A phrase does not have to have subject and verbs. Like a prepositional phrase. It can't stand. It's not part of this structure. It's just part of one sentence. So you're exactly right. There are two clauses to this sentence. Now let's discover in a minute if they're independent, if they can stand on their own, or if they're dependent. There's a dependent clause. Here we go. Many hands make light work, and working brings satisfaction. Who or what is this sentence about? Hands, subject, noun. What is being said about hands? Hands make, verb. Hands make who or what? Work. Does work replace hands? No. Does work describe hands? No. D-O. Label verb transitive. Let's do another check here. Is work a noun? Is it a person? No. Is it a place? No. Is it a thing? Not a thing that you can touch. Is it an activity? Yes. It's activity, or it's also an idea, kind of like love, but I would consider it more of an activity. Okay. So because it's a noun, that makes it a direct object. As long as it's a noun that's not replacing the subject. Hands and work are not equaling each other, and it's transferring the action of make to work. Okay, what kind of work? Light. Adjective is right. Now, many hands. What kind? How many hands? Many. Adjective. This is modifying a noun. And it's answering the question, what kind? How many? Literally answering the question, how many? Okay, there's our first clause. Let's look at our second clause. Ooh, this one's fun. Do you guys see something special in this one already? Hopefully you do. Working brings satisfaction. Who or what is this clause about? Working. Subject, noun. Oh, what is this, you guys? Working. Wait, I thought we decided work can be a verb. Working is definitely a verb. I am working outside. Okay, a gerund is a present participle verb form used as a noun. Okay, it's a verb that's in the present tense that is in the subject part of the sentence. So this is a gerund. A gerund is a present participle verb form used as a noun. What is being said about working? Working brings, verb. Working brings who or what? Satisfaction. Does satisfaction replace working? No. Does it describe working? No. D-O, label verb transitive. Now let's ask a couple other questions to verify this. Satisfaction. Is that a person? So remember, direct object has to be a noun. Is satisfaction a person? No. Place? No. Thing? No. Activity? No. Idea? Yes. Satisfaction is an idea. So that's what makes it a noun. Very good. Let's go ahead and diagram this. Hands make work. Remember, we're going to capitalize that. Many hands make. The reason I said this phrase is because my mom uses it all the time. Many hands make light work. And it's true. If you ever work together on a big project or a cleaning assignment, and the more people you have, the easier it is, like putting away chairs after a ward party. Yeah, take a very long time if it was just 1 or 2 people. But if if everybody put away their own chair, nobody has to do very much work. Same thing in our house with dishes. We tell our kids all the time, if you wash your own dish and put it away, then nobody has to do very many dishes. Or if you clean up after yourself, then we don't have very much work to have to do. Okay, workings. Ooh, okay, so how do we do a gerund? Do you guys remember? Like this. We have a little stand. Working. Brings. Guys, I love grammar. It's just so much fun. So much fun. I love to mentally diagram and parse out sentences when I read the scriptures because it helps me, especially since the sentences are very long sometimes, because it helps me understand the core parts of the sentence, and it really illuminates them and emphasizes the core pieces that are the most important. So it's very fun. It's a good exercise. I love it. Very good. I think we got it all. Working brain, did we get all our parts? Yeah. Oh, we are missing one part. What are we missing? If you said the conjunction, you're absolutely right. Now, are we going to put the conjunction straight down, or are we going to have a platform? That depends on if these are independent clauses, then there'll be a platform. If there's a dependent clause, then it'll be a straight line. So, can they stand on their own? Working brings satisfaction. Many hands make light work. Yep, they can stand on their own. So they're independent clauses. So I'm going to put a little I here. Independent. Independent. That makes this a platform. And. All right. So is this simple, compound, or complex? If you said compound, you are right, because these are two houses that stand on their own, joined by a conjunction. Nicely done, everybody. That was a fun exercise, and I hope congratulations to those of you who stuck to the end. I'm proud of you. Have a great week.